Good morning from Changi Airport Terminal 1. It's a Sunday morning, about 6:30 a.m. here in Singapore. I'm at the check-in desks for a Scoot flight down from Singapore to Sydney. The check-in desks are fully automated here in Terminal 1. They're called the fast check-in kiosks, self-serve. So you just scan your passport, get your boarding pass. If you have check-in bag, then you can just drop them off at the bag drop. So all very simple. So let's do that and get on board. And after going through the automated immigration gates, it's now time to make my first port of call in the departure area, which is the TWG shop. This is a special request from my mum and my sister. They've asked for a specific tea from this Singaporean brand, TWG tea. So I'll need to find the shop, find the specific flavor of tea that they want, and then head over to my next stop. So I'm at the TWG shop. I'm buying the vanilla bourbon flavor. Because I'm going into Australia, there is a risk that the customs may confiscate loose leaf tea. Just in case, I'm also getting the sealed tea bags. And so after TWG, my next stop is actually behind me. Next door is Bengawan Solo. My dad has not requested, but has kindly hinted that he'd like a fruitcake from here. So I'm just going to go in and just check out what the fruitcake is and just buy one. I think it's $15. And having left Bengawan Solo, I'm now at the Plaza Premium Lounge, which is accessible near the Transfer Desk C escalators. It's opposite the Paul's Patisserie Cafe and next to the Irvin Salted Egg Store downstairs. So let's do a quick walkthrough. Just past the entrance using my American Express card, and upon entry you can see there's a lot of seating. Plenty of seats available at this time in the morning. And immediately to the left you have the food stations. You've got coffee making facilities, orange juice, cereal, toast, seating as well, soft drinks, Coke, tea. Here you've got a hot food area, scrambled eggs, chicken ham, sausage, got some bee hoon or fried vermicelli, and also there's a chef available. And this morning you can order a la carte Hainanese chicken rice, Singapore laksa or vegetarian noodles, quiche, mushroom soup, salad bar. The food here is always very solid, very presentable, edible. It's fantastic to have a large spread. My favorite spot usually is this long table here, communal table. You've got PowerPoint sockets, USB charging port close to the food and close to the bar, which is just here. This bar serves wines, spirits, beers on tap. I think they've got Guinness and Tiger on tap. The wines are usually from Australia. Here you've got what looks to be a private VIP seating area reserved for, I guess, special classes of travelers. Here you've got like kind of hexagonal working areas, providing a lot of privacy, seclusion if you want to do your work. Private toilets in this lounge as well, TVs showing departure times. There's also shower facilities available. Included, I think, in the package, you can also pay to use the lounge. So if you pay to come in for a certain period, I think you also do have to pay an extra charge for the use of the showers as well. And then finally, you've got a resting area here. A lot of lounge chairs, some also private chairs by the wall on either side, all equipped with USB charging ports as well as PowerPoints to charge your devices. The last thing that I'd like to show is actually the highlight of the lounge, which is the views of the apron. As you can see, there's a lot of aircraft waiting today. Singapore Airlines. Fantastic view. Plenty of planes waiting to take passengers wherever in the world they may go. So that's the lounge tour of the Plaza Premium Lounge here in Changi Airport Terminal 1. So today's gate is D37 in Terminal 1, and the interesting thing to note about Changi Airport is this terminal is that there are security checks at each gate. So it's not just after clearing customs, it's actually at each gate. So just factor that into your timing when you want to arrive for boarding. And I'm now at the waiting area at gate D37. Just come through the security checks, come through the ticket checks as well. The aircraft that we're taking today is a 4.5-year-old Boeing 787-9 aircraft. It's the Pikachu Jet in Scoot's fleet, and it was delivered fresh to Scoot in July 2019. The registration number is 9V-OJJ. The boarding process for the plane this morning was, quite frankly, very chaotic. While an announcement was made for Scoot Plus passengers as well as passengers who had pre-purchased the Board Me First option to board the plane first, it seemed that many passengers either didn't hear the announcement or weren't following the announcement, nor was the ticket gate attendant strictly enforcing this boarding procedure.
Thank you.
To be fair, passengers could not be blamed entirely for failing to follow the proper boarding procedure. Firstly, there was no clear signage at the entrance to the jet bridge. And secondly, I felt that the holding area for a plane of this size at gate D37 was much too small or had too few seats, Many passengers were either sitting on the floor or standing up for an extended period before boarding the plane. This meant that when it came time to board the plane, there was overall, in my opinion, a general sense of impatience and or overzealousness to board.
Hi. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to seat 9A on this Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner. I'm seated against the window on the left side of this airplane. The configuration in economy class is 333, which is quite standard. Just ahead of me is the Scoot Plus, or Scoot's equivalent of business class. I did select this seat. Hopefully it provides some good views out of Singapore Changi Airport on the way out. I believe the left side is always the better side to be on, both for landing and for takeoff. Let's have a quick look at the seat. So as you know, for a low-cost carrier, Scoot is the subsidiary of Singapore Airlines. There is no in-flight entertainment. There is a fold-out table, literature pocket with a safety card, menu, and in-flight magazine. On your left, you have seat controls, one for the light, as well as the call sign for attendance. Above that, you have the dimmer button for the dimmable windows. Right now, it's a bit dark there because the jet bridge gate is blocking the view, but up ahead, you can see we are at gate D37, just waiting for passengers to board. In terms of legroom, this is very roomy. I think there's about maybe slightly more than the standard economy class here. If I would have to estimate, it would be about 32 inches of pitch. And in terms of the seat recline, I think there is built-in seat recline. You have individual reading lights, no individual air vents though, as is typical of most modern airliners. So let's see how cold or warm this airplane gets. Right now it's a very pleasant temperature. The air conditioner is switched on, which is good for Singapore's humidity and heat. In terms of the seat padding itself, it seems to be relatively well padded. It's not overly thin, although it is typical of modern aircraft. It's a bit more thin than aircraft that are 10-15 years old. The headrest is also adjustable, which is good, both height and on each side, and on each seat there is a disposable headrest cover. Looking forward to getting airborne and getting to Sydney. Shortly before 10 o'clock, the jet bridge withdrew. We were pushed back from the gate and taxied out to our runway. Today's runway was runway 02 right. On the way, we passed by many aircraft, including this FedEx 767, a Singapore Airlines A350, and a dormant Singapore Airlines Airbus A380. The sound of those two engines on a 787 never gets old, and we were soon powering out of Singapore over Malaysia and then back down south over Indonesia. Due to the presence of a high altitude cloud layer, it took a long while for us to reach our cruising altitude and for the captain to finally switch off the fasten seatbelt sign. So we are now 1.5 hours into the flight, and the meal service for passengers who have pre-ordered their meals has come around. I've got my meal here. It's a hot meal, pasta with chicken thigh, Coca-Cola, and a dessert. Looks like a cheesecake. Notably, the Pokemon theme extends even to the servingware. So as you can see, you got a Pikachu cup, and the napkin is also a Pokemon Air Adventures branded napkin. So the playful theme continues into the meal. Let's have a taste of the food. This dish is actually very tasty. The chicken is very nicely seasoned with a hint of black pepper. The pasta is on the, I guess, al dente side, so it's not too soggy. The veggies are nicely steamed. The sauce is quite plain. It's not overpowering. Maybe it could do with a bit more kick, but overall it's a very nice light dish. That's what I want on this kind of flight, midday, something not too heavy. Yeah, really good. I feel like the cheesecake is a little bit dry. It's been a while since I've had cheesecake, so as soon as I received it today, I was craving it. But it is a little bit on the dry side, I must admit. If there's any feedback, I think just try and make it a bit more moist. The flavors are there, the taste is there, but it's just a bit on the dry side. During the flight, I was also very impressed with the level of darkness these dimmable windows could achieve. Compared with earlier generations of 787s, I felt that these windows could go way more dark. And now for a quick little review of the toilets here in the Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner. I'm in the middle of the cabin between rows 28 and 30. This is going to be a quick little review because there's a bit of a line waiting outside. Fairly clean. We're about 4 hours into the flight. Generally looks fine. 2 lights, a mirror, LED strip panel, the top, 2 coat hooks on the doors, some soap, tissue paper, 3 tissue boxes, rubbish bin, 2 toilet rolls, and a toilet, and then seat covers, or it looks like more tissues actually, and a baby change table. Not many other frills, I guess. Quite standard for a low-cost carrier. Generally very clean, very bright, decently sized. That's the little review here on the Boeing 787-9. Just got over an hour left in this flight. Just some final thoughts before we descend and land into Sydney International Airport. I thought the flight as a whole was excellent. It's a bonus that we're on this limited edition, one-of-a-kind Pikachu Jet. The one thing that I'd like to point out is that even the safety announcements, or the announcement made before the safety briefing, was a unique kind of Pikachu themed, I guess, alert to the passengers. So that was pretty unique. Overall, the food service was excellent. I had 2 meals. One was the main service that I went through earlier. The other one was instant noodles, which was $6, as well as Old Tea Coffee Hut instant coffee, which was another $4, so $10 altogether. Just purchased that half an hour ago just as a quick snack before we land into Sydney. Very quick service, very prompt. The crew quickly got the hot water into the instant noodles and handed that to me. The bathrooms were very clean. I did see the crew go around just right before I used the bathroom to clean it up, so it shows that throughout the flight the crew do take care to make sure that the bathrooms are clean for passengers, which is really good. I've had a very comfortable journey in this seat, 9A again. No pains, no back pains, no nothing. It's been very comfortable. The temperature of the flight has been very good, even though we don't have individual air vents. It's been nice and cool. And I guess now as we descend into Sydney, some of the thoughts for improvement, I noticed that the floor, the carpeting on the floor, particularly where people walk in the main areas, near the bathrooms, near the kitchen galley area, are extremely worn out. So that's just, I guess, a cosmetic thing, but it is noticeable to me. Another thing to note is that I did find that there was a lengthy wait for the bathrooms, so the number of passengers for the bathrooms, particularly if passengers use the bathrooms for quite some time, it can be a lengthy wait. So the ratio of bathrooms to passengers is small relative to, say, maybe a full-size carrier. You'd expect maybe 1 or 2 more bathrooms, which I think would significantly reduce the waiting time, or maybe I picked a time when everyone was getting up to use it. Overall, I had a very positive experience here in the economy class of Scoot. So this being a limited edition, one-of-a-kind plane, I've purchased 2 items off the catalog. One is a Scoot Pikachu bucket hat. The other is a canvas tote bag. Again, a limited edition Pikachu branded tote bag, which you can use for your shopping or even to place under your seat in front of you when you take a flight. So to have a chance at winning one of these 2 limited edition items from the Scoot Pikachu plane, what you need to do is firstly subscribe to this channel, and secondly comment Pikachu in the comment section below. And when this channel hits 1,000 subscribers, I will personally contact the 2 lucky subscribers and arrange for these items to be delivered to an address of your choice. Good luck! At 200 nautical miles outside of Sydney, the captain made the announcement for the cabin crew to prepare the cabin for landing. Approaching 9 PM local time in Sydney, we made a wide arc out to the Pacific Ocean before doubling back and landing against the backdrop of a fast-setting sun from the southeast of Sydney. And welcome to Sydney Kingsford Smith International Airport and to Sydney, my hometown. It felt so good to be back in the land down under, where I'll be planning to spend the next fortnight catching up with family and friends. Thank you very much to Scoot, the pilots, and the entire cabin crew for a very enjoyable flight from Singapore to Sydney. If you would like to have a chance to win the Pikachu bucket hat or the Pikachu tote bag, please do follow the prompts on screen by firstly subscribing to this channel and secondly commenting Pikachu in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.